Sacrificing your freedoms. Hi friends, it's Adam, the crippled cannabis cowboy. Thanks for watching my video on something that suddenly entered my thoughts that I've gotten very used to, and it's got a lot to do with adjusting. If you like this kind of shit, subscribe to my channel, help somebody out who needs it, and enjoy life as much as you can. I had to sacrifice quite a bit of the things I'm passionate about, but there was one thing in particular that I noticed had to do with like the feeling of being free, and that was my ability to drive a car. And driving is a privilege, man. That shit ain't no right. That's like, if you could do it, cool. Do it as much as you can, because one day, man, you're not gonna be able to. Say something like this didn't happen to you. Sooner or later, your eyesight goes, your hearing goes. We all talk about that, like grandma speed on the highway, and it changes. With me, there was a few incidents that happened to me that kind of pointed out something was wrong. But driving was a big one, because when your vision goes a little weird, driving is freaking scary. And I remember, other than my punching bag incident trying to kick it, I was driving a truck and I was working for a linen company. I was doing a delivery of linens. I was on the highway and freaking whatever, and the mad respect to the truck drivers, because they see a lot of shit, man. And just out of nowhere, my left eye got really blurry. I guess it was like looking through a screen door. It's like you can still see but you can't really see. Then it got a little worse, so I pulled over, kind of was like, what the hell's happening to my eye? It lasted about, I would say, 20 minutes, and then it subsided. It never came back to like full brightness, but it subsided, so it was very strange. But it led me to start thinking, I'm kind of like, damn, it would really suck to get in a car accident when my eyesight's bad. It would really suck to ruin another family's life because I killed somebody they loved because I was driving, trying to make money. It kind of went away for a little while, and then I was in a different state. I was in New Jersey. I was doing jiu-jitsu at some gym, Bacanti Jiu-Jitsu, good place, by the way, a lot of good people there. I was driving home. I went there and I trained. Now, mind you, I am on a cane and I can barely walk. I'm having, like I said, but not like they are now, but they were getting there. I was driving home from after doing jiu-jitsu, and there was somebody following me from the school. Man, I was merging from one highway to another, that you go around or whatever, and I literally drove right off the road. Like, it's not like the steering wheel slipped or anything like that. I just literally drove off the road. There was a little snow on the ground, but not a lot. And the person that was following me was kind of like, yo, dude, that was serious shit. You gotta think about that. That led to me thinking about operating a motor vehicle. I did know that connected to a lot of my feeling free, because I used to take my dog out, 4 mornings out of the week, I would say. So I got very used to just taking a trip. I'm a solo dude. I never really had a girlfriend living with me. I never, after I was married and divorced or whatever, it was, I don't know how many years, it was over a decade, well over a decade. I would go out all the time, so I knew at that moment, like, damn, I can't drive. That means I can't go anywhere. That means me. I'm gonna feel like this. I'm gonna feel like this. I didn't think about what would happen to other people. Not only could I scare the shit out of them on their way to work, but I can take one of their children's lives. That's, somebody's child. That's a mom. That's a dad. That's a brother. That's a sister. So it when that was started weighing on my conscience. I sat there and thought about it for a little while, but it was weighing on my conscience big time. So I made the big decision to stop driving a car. I can't drive a car no more now, but I'm glad something bad didn't happen. And I saw what was happening, and I can be like, yo, I can't do this anymore. I turned in my license. I literally went to a DMV in Torrington, I think, something like that. And I turned in my license. They gave me an ID card, but I am no longer allowed to operate a vehicle legally in any way. And you hear stuff as you're progressing through life or whatever. And there were a few people that said, oh man, he shouldn't be driving. Oh, that dude shouldn't be driving. I did hear those things when it first started. I wasn't, I was always an adrenaline junkie. So yes, I did drive fast. I had a motorcycle, so the road was special to me. And when all this yucky stuff started happening, that was a big part of freedom, I guess. That it's not like I thought. I mean, yeah, you walking is part of it, and there's like other things happen. But when you can't drive a car, when you can't leave somewhere and just go somewhere, man, that really kicks your ass. You gotta sit with that one for a little while. Here it is a few years later, and I still have my issues with it. It's a big deal when you have to sacrifice your freedoms, when bad things are happening to disability, because you can no longer do certain things. It does something to your conscience. It makes you very negative. It makes you think about the ugliest shit. You have to resist that. You have to understand that this is part of the journey, and I didn't want this. Anyone that feels like this doesn't want this. You literally do not want to live anymore. So it's hard to explain. When your freedoms are taken away from you, it adds to that feeling. So you have to pay attention to that. I really have no answers. I get into hobbies, get into something else. Hopefully a lot of people love you, and if you do need a ride somewhere, you can find a ride. Anyway, if you're going through all this kind of shit, that sucks, and just remember to give yourself permission to be happy. Get people to love you. Don't be a dick. It really messes up not only your life but everybody else's when you're a dick. And then sooner or later, people just don't want to hang out with you and don't want to talk to you. That's kind of something to pay attention to. Thanks for watching my belly aching video, and maybe learn something, and maybe you understand a little better that what happens to people like me and the things that go through our heads. And you gotta be strong mentally, man. If these things are happening to you, you have to be strong mentally. It helps to be strong physically, but that only lasts so long. Man, it's really all about your brain. Trust, you are going to have your good days and bad days.